Ladies and gentlemen, the Pleb is back. In tonight's report, the Liberals continue embarrassing themselves trying to tie Pierre Poilievre to Diagolon. Pierre Poilievre claps back at the Liberals and absolutely owns them. We have pro-Palestine protesters showing up to politicians' homes, and Diana Sharif is locked up in jail. Also, Pierre Poilievre got kicked out of the House of Commons today by the Speaker of the House. You won't want to miss tonight's story. Stick around. Tonight's episode has been brought to you by Beaver Bitcoin. Now, one of the reasons I love Bitcoin so much, aside from it being the greatest performing asset of all time, is, well, Bitcoin represents freedom. And in a country where Justin Trudeau loves freezing people's bank accounts, you should protect yourself by owning some Bitcoin and putting it on a hardware wallet. Become ungovernable. Sign up for an account at beaverbitcoin.com/pleb. in the link in the description below. Welcome to your Tuesday report. It appears that Clown World continues to accelerate here, and the Liberals are taking it to new levels. Now, when your name is Justin Trudeau and you've completely destroyed a country, you can no longer run on your record, and the Liberals, in pure desperation mode, are trying to tie Pierre Poilievre to Diagolon. Now, I personally cannot believe that I'm actually reporting on this, but yes, the Liberals are using clips from Diagolon streams now in political attacks. Let's watch.
He needs to appeal to this base of conservatives that are not on board with Operation Global Homo, and he needs them to win. So the conservative base, it's our job to basically start pounding him with these questions and holding him to them so that he can't just run away from them. And you see what I'm saying? You can make him do things because he's a weasel. That's what's kind of interesting about it.
I have never seen the Liberal Party as desperate as they are right now. They have nothing. They can't run on their track record. They're trying to pin Diagolon onto Pierre Poilievre. But as you can even see in this clip, they absolutely hate Pierre. Now, with all the Liberals on X trying to tie Pierre Poilievre to Diagolon, even Rachel Gilmore came out and fact-checked that, of all people here, saying that Diagolon doesn't like Pierre Poilievre. They aren't actually endorsing him. It's not an endorsement. What's crazy about this entire situation is that the Liberals are literally platforming Diagolon. They're sitting there most likely laughing at the fact that their clip made it into a political ad. They are literally giving Diagolon what they want. And the Liberals keep doubling down on this. I mean, they put out this ad here on Sunday of Pierre Poilievre walking into the trailer titled, "Talk About Sunday Scaries." What the hell's a Sunday scary? Who are you talking to? A 4-year-old? And the Liberals are continuing to double down on this nonsense as they put out this tweet here today saying that Poilievre is courting far-right extremist groups. He'll do anything to win. Poilievre's failure to condemn far-right speaks volumes, according to extremism researchers. Who the hell are these extremism researchers? Rachel Gilmore? And in a pretty shocking turn of events here, Stephen Harper's old communications guy, Corey Tanecki, I believe, came out and agreed with Pierre Poilievre showing up to this camp. Watch what he had to say.
But, you know, the people who are the most energized around any issue, you know, whether it was, you know, free trade in the 80s or whether, you know, imposing it or whether it's It's opposing a carbon tax now. The people who are out protesting and doing things like that are the most likely to actually turn up and pound in signs and knock on doors for you and write a check for $100 to your campaign. Like, there is a reason why the Conservatives are out fundraising the Liberals like 10 to 1 right now. And it's because they actually have an activist base that they spend some time talking to, who are actually willing to write checks and to volunteer for them. And so, this is the Liberals trying to drag the Conservatives down into the abyss that they exist in right now when it comes to not having an activist base. The Conservatives have one. They should be unapologetic about it. I would be looking for the next opportunity to go and talk to folks like that, because that is ultimately going to help fuel your campaign.
Damn.
But,
Wow. I honestly didn't expect that take from Corey. I mean, I agree with a lot of his takes, but I see him more as a normie type conservative and someone who would be more risk averse. And that take absolutely shocked me. And yesterday in the House of Commons, the Liberals continue throwing temper tantrums over Pierre Poilievre going to this camp. And Pierre Poilievre absolutely lays the smackdown in his response. Watch.
The opposition once again visit with supporters of white supremacy, anarchy, and misogyny.
The same people who brought a Nazi to Parliament, for the record. It's really rich coming from them.
This has been a regular occurrence. He draws the admiration of people who dismiss the slaughter of children in schools. The leader of the opposition now has 30 seconds to speak to this House and to Canadians once I sit down. I ask him to clearly disavow the views of these dangerous people. Will he do that?
The same people who got endorsed by Hamas, for the record, want Pierre Poilievre to clarify. Oh my God.
Order.
The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
I unequivocally disavow the guy who spent the first half of his adult life as a practicing racist, dressing up in blackface.
Let's go!
He's accepted the support of Hamas, and now he's brought on the extremist and radical position of allowing legal drug use in playgrounds, in hospitals, in coffee shops that has led to the mass death of our people. Will he not refuse the demand of Toronto to replicate the decriminalization nightmare?
The bench is worked up here.
The Honourable Government House Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sad to say the leader of the Conservatives, the opposition, has shown us his true colors.
He has.
He speaks without conviction and clarity on a question that should be very, very, very simple for him to address. His silence speaks volumes. This is not leadership, Mr. Speaker. This is political cowardice.
Political cowardice. Give me a break. You guys tried to set up a trap. Pierre Poilievre absolutely owned you guys and basically went full MC Hammer with the "you can't touch this."
You can't touch this. Look, man, you can't touch this.
And a day after getting absolutely owned in the House of Commons, the Liberals today decided to kick Pierre Poilievre out of the House. Here's what happened.
Mr. Speaker, it is a choice for him to implement extremist policies that have taken the lives of 2,500 British Columbians every single year. Since the NDP has asked him to reverse course on his and formerly their radical policy, 22 British Columbians have died of drug overdoses. But he continues to allow those drugs to kill the people in our hospitals and on our public transit. When will we put an end to this wacko policy by this wacko Prime Minister?
He called them a wacko. Pierre, you know you can't use words like wacko, okay? It's time to apologize.
That is not. There are a couple of things which are going on here today. which is not acceptable.
Not acceptable.
And I ask all members, please, to keep themselves, to control themselves. I'm going to ask two things. One,
don't use the word
I'm going
wacko.
to ask the Honourable Leader of the Opposition to withdraw that term, which is not considered parliamentary.
Mr. Speaker, I replace wacko with extremist. He is an
The honourable member to please. I'm going to ask the Leader of the Opposition once again to just withdraw that comment. Please.
No.
I invite the honourable member. I'm going to ask the Honourable Leader of the Opposition to please withdraw that comment and simply withdraw that comment.
Don't do it, Pierre. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
I'll replace it with radical Baptist policy.
I am not asking to replace. I'm asking the honourable member to just simply withdraw.
No.
Mr. Speaker, I replace the word wacko with extremist.
He's so mad. Why won't he listen to me?
One last time.
One last time.
So please withdraw that comment and simply withdraw that.
Don't do it, Pierre. Don't do it. Don't do
Simply
it.
withdraw and replace with the aforementioned adjective.
Well, Pierre, we're going to have to kick you out of the house today.
Mr. Poilievre,
It's not parliamentary.
I have to name you for disregarding the authority of the chair.
Oh, my God.
Pursuant to the authority granted to me by Standing Order 11, I order you to withdraw from the House and from any participation by video conference for the remainder of this day's sitting.
And that, folks, is why I'll never run to be a member of parliament. I mean, look what they're kicking people out for. It's absolutely ridiculous. I would be getting kicked out of there every single day just for keeping it real. And I got to give props to Pierre Poilievre for not apologizing, for not backing down. Don't give them an inch. Well done, Pierre. In our next story of the night, Clown World continues accelerating here in Canada with pro-Palestine protests every single weekend, with protesters literally celebrating terrorism in the streets of Canada. But their latest move has taken it even further because now they are literally showing up to politicians' homes. Watch. I mean, that's the home of Canada's Minister of Justice, Arif Virani. I mean, they're literally standing in the guy's driveway. Do you guys miss the Freedom Convoy yet? And here is Arif's response to protesters showing up to his house.
Protesters outside your house. Were you home when there were protesters outside your house?
I was not home when there were protesters outside my house, and I want to be very clear on this. I fundamentally believe in the right to lawful and peaceful protest in this country. It is protected in the Charter. I'm duty-bound to defend that. Where the line gets crossed is when protesters arrive at my home, on my driveway, and in front of my home. My family, my wife, my kids do not deserve to be harassed, nor do my neighbors. If people have a problem with me, it's my name that's on the ballot. They should come to my office. They should leave my family out of it.
I mean, I don't often agree with this guy, but I agree with him here. You want to protest? Go to Parliament Hill. Show up to his MP's office. Showing up to his actual house with his family there is absolutely crossing a line. And the pro-Palestine protesters are now camping across campuses all across North America, from Harvard to McGill University, University of Ottawa, Columbia. They're all camping. I mean, these are the scenes here outside of McGill University right now. Look at this. Camping for Palestine. But one clip emerged on social media of the flag guy giving these pro-Palestine protesters a proper wake-up call in the morning, and it's absolutely hilarious.
Hey, this is not a test.
I have to mute that for copyright, but yeah, he showed up with the Good Morning Vietnam and some roosters.
Wake up, commies! Wake up! Wake up!
Brilliant. And in our last story of the night, in a story that will shock many, Dina Sharif apparently was arrested this weekend and charged multiple times with hate-related incidents. Here's the list of what she was charged for. Here are the charges. Let's zoom in here. Dina Sharif, 47 years old, of Ottawa, has been identified and charged with assault police officer with the intention to prevent an arrest, obstruct a peace officer in the execution of their duty, assault with a weapon twice, possession of weapon dangerous to the public, harassment by threatening conduct, hate motivated ×2, and intimidation by disorderly following. Look, I'm not a legal expert by any means, but those charges do sound serious, and they were actually serious because Dina was denied bail that very day. She was not released. She was held overnight in jail. And in a shocking turn of events, the following day was Dina Sharif's bail hearing. And which caught me by absolute surprise here is that Dina Sharif was denied bail. She's going to be spending a couple of days in jail. I thought she was paid by Trudeau to show up to protests, or at least that's what she said. So seeing her get denied bail and spend a couple of days in jail is actually pretty shocking. Here are her words out of her own mouth.
You know what? For GoFundMe or PayPal for what? Sorry, I missed a bunch of comments. For this organization thing? There was somebody who was collecting, I think it's on our Ottawa Defense Collective site. Joe and I are not. We get paid directly by Trudeau. So we don't have to set up funds. Wow. We are government funded.
We are government funded. Crazy. And even Trudeau's Ego, who is a parody account, came in and offered their spin on this situation, saying, paid liberal agitator Dina Sharif has been denied bail following her arrest. Getting caught was never part of our arrangement. This is why I'm cutting off her funding immediately and will use bought and paid for mainstream media to paint her as a Pierre Poilievre supporter. And the craziest part of this whole ordeal isn't even the arrest, is a newspaper clipping came out this weekend, which showed Dina Sharif about 20 years ago looking absolutely gorgeous here as a sunshine girl. And I just had to use this opportunity to meme this, just showing you guys that the woke mind virus, it really does destroy everything it touches, included Dina. I mean, who had Dina Sharif was beautiful 20 years ago on their bingo card? Because I certainly did not. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the show, but let me ask you a question. What did you guys think of Pierre Poilievre getting kicked out of the House? Is the Speaker of the House taking things too far? Trying to get him removed for using words like wacko or extremists? Are the Liberals losing their bloody minds? Tell me in the comments down below. Also, the Liberals losing their minds on Diagolon and Dina Sharif's arrest. What did you guys think of that? I want to hear it from you. I read all the comments. If you guys enjoyed today's report and you want to support my channel, thank you for watching. That's the #1 way to support me. But if you want to support me further, smash the like button so YouTube pushes this out to more people. Share it out with your friends. Tell your friends about the Pleb Reporter on YouTube. Or if you're a baller, you could buy a $5 Canadian membership to this channel. My name is the Pleb, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Peace.